Hello everyone, my name's Jolly Green, and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Through the Ages. We're finally into the alpha version of Minecraft, and as you can see, we've got a new mob added. That as well as many other additions, so let's get ready to explore them, shall we? That's right. With the addition of the cow, we also get... Oh, none that time, but we got some before. We get some leather. And, if you couldn't tell by the soothing music playing for us now, we also get soundtracks. Or at least this song. I think we also get one other song added as well. But this is the one that really sticks with you through the years. This is the pinnacle of Minecraft music right here. It's just so tender and sweet. Watching the sunset, listening to that soft piano music. This is a sunrise though, not a sunset, because it's coming up. But that just makes this moment even more tender. Makes you really think, is the sun rising? Or is it just always setting? All right, enough of that nonsense. Let's get back to the task at hand here, shall we? We need to find some more cows. This 2 leather is not going to do it for us. All right, so I've got a bit of leather gathered up here, and it should be just enough to make the next thing that we're going over. And now this isn't an addition to the game per se, but just a change that's been made since the last version. And that is, instead of the cloth armor that we had before, I actually decided to switch it out for something that has a little more protection. Because if you think about it, what is cloth armor other than just clothes? And that doesn't really offer much protection. Going out with some fucking... Going out with a set of socks and a t-shirt, like, that's not going to protect you much. But at least with leather, it actually gives you a little something. So we're just going to throw this on and prepare for our adventure today, because in order to find most of the things that have been added this game, or this update, we need to go out into the wild. We need to go to places that haven't been generated yet. The places that we cleared out when I upgraded the world. So basically new terrain, and that's where we're going to find a lot of the new stuff here. And the big way that we're going to know if we're in new terrain or not is by looking at the trees. Now, I did trim the chunks pretty close, so we shouldn't have to travel far to get to some new area. Like, really, I just kept right over by the house, the original terrain generation. And then once we start venturing away, we'll start to notice that these trees that basically all look the same right now, we're gonna get a little bit of variety in them. Let's, for example, we'll take a look at this, and I'll put it side by side with the new terrain generation when we get there, and you can see just what I mean. After about a minute of walking in just the same direction, I've actually come across the new territory already. Look at this tree. And that tree, as a matter of fact. These are the new trees that we have generating in the world. Just randomly, we have a chance to get a large oak tree. So that's how we know that we are now in new territory. Territory that was generated specifically in Minecraft Alpha. So now we should be able to find a couple of new additions to the game that are out here that are going to make a big difference later on for us. So now that we know we've made it to newly generated terrain, the big thing that we want to keep an eye out for is sand. Now don't look at me like that. I know sand has been in the game for quite a few updates now, and there's not even really any changes to sand in this update. However, what we're looking for is technically isn't the sand itself, but it's what can spawn on top of the sand. So I'm going to look for some beaches here and see if we can find it. I was hoping to find some sand right along this coastline here, but there's really not any being generated here. Oh, well, would you look at that? I guess we didn't need sand after all. This is actually what we were looking for. We now have, I think they're technically called reeds in this version, but we'll later know them to be called sugarcane. And with the sugarcane in this version, if we grab our crafting table, we are able to make paper. Of course, we all know that. However, we're able to make books too, and it doesn't require any leather. One book with just 3 paper. You really can't beat that. I mean, that's about as easy as it gets. I think we're going to end up taking advantage of that before we move on to the next version of the game. Make just a couple stacks of books just to have on hand. Now, that was a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting to find the sugarcane growing on the grass here. I thought it needed sand, but apparently just the coast will do. But unfortunately, the next thing that we're looking for is not going to be quite as easy. We need to stick to the sandy areas because that's the only spot that we're going to be able to find it. Oh boy, is that what I think it is? Do you see it? Well, do you see it? I see it. Let me know in the comments down below if you see it. While we're walking over there, getting it closer into view, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking of the series so far, or just this update. As a matter of fact, which update has been your favorite so far? Let me know. But that's right. The other item that we came all this way out to find was the lone cacti. Now, I don't think this has really changed all that much over the years. It still grows in sand. The biggest difference you'll find with it is that it will spawn anywhere that there's sand. It's not limited to just the desert yet, because there is no desert. So let's pick this up and start our journey back home, if we can find our way. So we did manage to find our way back home, and we also ran into these little guys right outside the house. The chickens, they don't really have too much functionality yet. We can't breed them. So I don't even think we could lead them around with seeds. Basically, they're here to give us eggs. Maybe meat? Nope, just feathers. Cool. So I guess we have arrows. We can make arrows. Yay! Lucky us. So now that we're back at the house, let's see what else has been added this version and see what we need to go over here. So upon returning home, I thought it'd be a good idea to come over and plant my crops that we just acquired. My reeds and my cacti. And unfortunately, a creeper thought it'd be a good idea to sneak up behind me and blast me to smithereens. So we ended up with this beautiful crater and all of our stuff scattered everywhere. But it's not a huge deal. Thankfully, our house is close enough to spawn so we can get back here and get our stuff retrieved relatively quickly. Now, what I was messing with at the time of my untimely demise was actually a way that we can try to automate somewhat the production of the cacti. I'll have to get more dirt to fill in this hole first. That's going to bug me. 1 second. We're adults. We patch our holes. Much better. All right. So as I was saying, we're trying to figure out a way of somewhat automating the production of cacti. Now, we don't really have any way of picking these up automatically, but they added fences in this version. And if I'm correct, which I am hoping I am, just by throwing those fences there, that should somewhat automate cactus production right there. Let's give it a test. If we simulate the growth of this cactus here, okay, we can't because the fence is there, I assume. As a lot of you probably know, when a cactus is touching another block, it pops off. So by adding this fence post here, when the cactus grows, it should grow up, touch this fence post, and then pop right off on the ground. Let's see if we can witness it. Now, either cacti grow very slowly, or this isn't working. I guess back to the drawing board with that one. But, important takeaway. They added fences. One thing that we should probably note about the fences, though, is that it's not your standard crafting recipe for them. I believe if we were to make a fence in modern Minecraft, it would be something like that, I think. Either that or the opposite. I can never remember which way. Either way, that's not what it is here. So we're just going to take our 6 sticks, and it makes 2 fences. Which, honestly, isn't a bad recipe. I can see why they changed it in order to be able to add the different types of wood fences. But right now, all we have is oak, so that sticks works. Look at all this sugarcane. We're going to have books for days. And I think it's safe to say that we're not going to get another cacti. Let's try removing this and see if this far one grows up. Another thing we should probably mention about the cows real quick is you can milk them. And you can drink the milk as well, but it doesn't do anything. It just makes it disappear, which is interesting. But I think we're going to, we'll save this milk bucket for potential future use. So one thing that I'm now realizing is that on our previous journey out to find the reeds and cactus, we probably should have found, or at least looked for, one other block. So I think we're going to go out and do that now. But to make our journey a little easier, we're going to craft up a boat. Because I think this time we're going to go across the ocean and see what lies this way. Mostly because we have boats, you know? So I mean, in the previous episodes, water travel was not the easiest, but it should be a piece of cake now that we actually have a way across the water. And it's also convenient because the last block that we're looking for here just so happens to be in the water. You definitely come to miss the rowing animation when you don't have it anymore, that's for sure. But here we are, just chugging along in our boat. As night falls, actually it looks like the ocean's probably going to be a pretty safe place for us, because skeletons can't get us from the water. At least if we go far enough away from land, that is. So I think we're gonna cross the ocean and probably wait this night out right in the boat. And then come morning time, we'll actually take a look for this mysterious block. As I'm rowing along in this boat, or I guess just chugging along in the boat, one thing I'm noticing is that the boat controls are very much so not refined like they are now. I mean, the momentum that you get going, like ready, I'm going to get up to speed here. All right, and then I'm going to let off the W key right now. So see, you still go a ways not even pushing the movement key. And turning is also very slow and difficult. I'm glad they made the changes that they did to make boat driving a little easier. Oh, I forgot boats used to do that. See, when I first started playing Minecraft, this is how boats operated, and it was very annoying. When you hit the boat, it breaks into like its crafting components, and not even that, because you get like 2 planks and some sticks, which isn't enough to make another boat. So you better come prepared, or you're going to be stranded on the other side of the ocean. So here I was, minding my own business in this hole, waiting throughout the night. I knew that the next leg of my journey was to continue in this direction, so I busted through this dirt here and saw some cobblestone, and I thought, well, that's kind of weird. I didn't place that there. Bust through that, and would you look at that? We have a dungeon. And there's many spiders in it, but I could just snag that. Yeah, figures nothing good in that chest. Is there a second chest? Can we put a torch in there somewhere, please? Apparently not. No. That was a mistake. Mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made. Run away. Run away. I can't get out. Okay. Mistakes were made. I accidentally busted him a hole so he could get out. And I don't want that. Oh, and there's another one in the way. There. Okay. Perfect. I still can't find the chest. Okay. Okay. We saved it. This is potentially not a great place to be, but there's the chest. And ooh, that's new. We'll talk about that next episode. Cliffhangers. Anyways, let's continue this journey for what we... Oh, not again, not again. It's okay. We're safe. You can't hurt us here. Okay. Perfect. So, as I was saying, let's continue this journey. Ooh, what's this? What's this here? Is that? Oh, it is. That's what we came here for. Clay. So clay spawns in and around the waters, and then when you mine it with the shovel, you get balls, clay balls. But apparently it's very rare because I've been searching in this newly generated territory for quite some time now, and this is the first block that I found, and there was only one. So it's a bit hard to. Oh, as I say, it's a bit hard to come by. Look at what greets us here. Maybe I'm just not seeing it in the water, but that's a very big patch of clay that we'll take home if we can find our way. Which honestly should be this way. So I think I'm going to head back that direction. Maybe I'll take a slightly different path than the way that we got here and see if I can find any more clay. We also need food because the run-in with the spiders was a bit much. I should have grabbed the bread from the chest, but we'll be good with just this little piggy over here. This little piggy went and... Oh, he didn't even give me any food. Dang it. One last update on our semi-automatic cacti production. The fence doesn't work. It does still grow with the fence there and without the fence there. So that does not pop the cactus off like I thought it was going to. Which is a little unfortunate because I thought for sure that would be a great way to at least have a couple cactus sitting on the ground waiting for us every once in a while when we needed them. So I don't know. We're gonna have to look into that and figure out something. But for now, that's fine. But now that we are safe and sound at home, back in the comfort of our own house, it's nighttime, we're alone, so let's grab our balls and throw them in the furnace. And we're just going to let them sit there for a minute until they get nice and hard. And then we end up with bricks. And these bricks actually allow us to be able to craft These bricks actually allow us to be able to craft the brick block, which has been added in the game for quite a few versions now. We just haven't been able to craft it yet. It's only been in like the creative versions. And it's pretty cool that we now have access to that. with that, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. There is still much more to talk about for the alpha version of the game, including this that we got in that spider dungeon there. So stay tuned for that. Next week, we will be back into the Sky Factory world for another episode of that. But then we'll be back here to discuss that redstone. So hang tight. Subscribe if you haven't already so you know when the videos come out. And don't forget, stay jolly.